I see millions of motivational speakers that speak to the rich, that speak to the successful. I said, who speaks to the broken? Who speaks to the individuals that's still in the process? Who speaks to the individuals that doesn't want to live anymore? Every motivational speech you ever heard, I was talking to myself and I was telling my story. I couldn't read till I was 16. I buried my mother to a heroin overdose. My father was a hitman. I used to sneak in crack houses to sleep next to my mom to make sure she was safe at night. But through all the chaos and all the pain, God built a warrior. So when y'all see King Hollis, and every time I drop a speech, I'm dropping it for you. That person that want to give up on his life, I'm dropping it for you. That person that don't know that they have greatness inside of them, I'm dropping this for you.
See the difference between a good player and a great player. See, that good player does just the minimum to get by. That great player pushes his body past the limit. He leaves every single drop of blood on the field. And whatever he does in life, he wants to be remembered as the greatest. He does that extra 10 when the coach only asks for 20. He runs that extra mile when the coach only asks for 5. See, he knows he's gonna have to dig deep inside his soul to bring out that king, to bring out that legend, to bring out that power that lays in every single one of us. But we won't go deep enough to get it. We're not gonna be good. We're gonna be great.
Being broke is a mindset. That's something that you put inside your head. That's something that you tell yourself every single day. I literally started from the side of a Turkey Hill gas station. And all I did was ask someone, could you give me an opportunity to go into your studio? Could you give me an opportunity to walk into this place every single day and create my motivation? The time didn't take long. It was only 2 to 3 minutes and I'll finish a speech and I'll give it out. Because many of you guys don't know, I do not write speeches. Everything I do is from the heart. So what I did was I truly believed that I have something special to give this world. And I want you to know that you have something special to give this world. Don't ever believe that the lack of funds is the reason why you're not being successful. This is not true. The lack of belief is why you're not successful. Every single human being on this earth is a walking $1 million check. And our belief in ourselves, our grind, our true grit to wake up every single day and tell ourselves and tell the world that I will be something special is what separates you from everyone else. I learned that when I stopped being envious of people and stop judging people and stop being angry that I'm not on their level is when I truly started to elevate in my career. I told myself I will never take a dollar bill from another person. I will never sell my dream and my gift to anyone for any dollar amount. Don't you ever do that. And every morning you wake up and you look in the mirror, I want you to look in that mirror and I want you to tell yourself that I am special, I am great, and I am phenomenal. Nobody will stop me from reaching my goal. My goal, my individual goal, is to become one of the best speakers of all time. But I know I have so much work to do. While they sleep, I must work. While they party, I must grind. While they procrastinate, I must go after my future with a relentless effort. And I want you guys to grow to be successful with me. I don't want to just be successful by myself. I want my message to grow other people and make other people successful. That's what life is truly about. It's about picking great individuals and taking them with you. We got to make this decision in our life today, kings and queens, that we will not be ordinary. We will be great. We will be kings. This life is about serving and giving and being true. We live in a world where people believe everybody is out to get you. But I'm telling you now, some people is just out to love you. So for the rest of my career and the rest of my life, I want you to look at William Hollis as your brother, your family, because we are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you came from. The only thing that matters is who loves you now. Growing up in the projects of Pontiac, Michigan, I realized two things. I realized that I won't make it if I believe that this is my reality for the rest of my life. And two, I had to realize that all the knowledge and my gifts were already placed inside of me at birth. All I have to do is fine tune. All I have to do is keep working on this craft every single day, and I can be successful. When I sat on the side of that Turkey Hill gas station, I realized that no one would believe in me. No one will say, William Hollis, one day your speeches will be played all around the world. No one. And I realized that pain was necessary. I realized that without my belief, I cannot go to the next level. And I want you guys to know, every piece of motivation I give you, I'm talking to myself. The world just happened to hear me. Let's become legendary. Let's not focus on who don't see anything in us. Let's focus on everything that does. You are filthy rich. You were born rich. We're going to forget about the generational lack. We're going to forget about the people who left us. And we're going to focus on the people who love us. We're going to focus on the people who believe in us. Because you have greatness inside of you. You have an everlasting potential. And as long as you have a heartbeat, as long as you have air in your lungs, you have an opportunity to change this world, change your life, and live your dream today. You are not broke. You are filthy rich. You were born rich. We will be royal forever.
Hey, sugar. Woo, that was fire. Man, if nothing else, I wanted to motivate y'all before we get this call started because, like King Hollis said, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm really talking to myself, right? So, just like I'm here to help motivate and inspire all of you, I'm here to help motivate and inspire myself as we go forward and we actually achieve what we set out to achieve, which is the goal of completing the 52 weeks. All right, guys. So as I start off all of our calls, I always start them off by saying, hey, NSA. Right? And it's just to let everybody know that I am not a licensed financial advisor, nor am I here to give you financial advice about how to invest your money. I'm simply here to share with you some information, some insights, some personal experiences with you guys to help guide you through your journey as you learn how to become a full-time investor in the foreign exchange and digital currency markets. All right. So I always start all of our calls off with our daily affirmation. I am so thankful and grateful now that I have patience and discipline so that I am a master trader. I want to say good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Lopez, and I am the creator of the Milwaukee Sauce. I am also one of the creators of the Harmonic Scanner 52 Weeks to Freedom course, right? And I have the pleasure of being the first educator. So I will be the one that will share each Wednesday with you all for the next 12 weeks. Okay. All right. So just a little bit of background about myself for those of you who don't know. I actually started my journey. I'm actually celebrating my 2-year anniversary, guys. I celebrated 2 years as a member of Trade Nation and I Am Academy on January the 28th. So I am so thankful and grateful now. All right, so guys, I am the walking testimony for the 52 weeks to freedom, right? And I'm sure that there are many, many others that are on the call and that are in the course that can also testify to the power of the education and the technology that we have access to, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I shared a little bit of information with you about myself, right? My first 6 months, guys, let's keep it real. I did like most of you. I didn't take the opportunity serious. I didn't stay plugged into the groups. I didn't stay connected to my coach, my mentor, right? I thought I could figure this thing out by myself. I tried to skip around through the videos and skim through them, and I was trying to watch YouTube videos, and I was looking here and looking there, trying to figure this thing out for myself, right? The drive was there, the hunger was there, but guess what? The discipline wasn't there. The patience, it just wasn't there. So I wasted 6 months of time blowing account after account after account, right? Trying to figure this thing out on my own. And so I decided, hold on, wait a minute. Why try and reinvent the wheel? Why try and do something new when I already got a system here that they telling me works? So I did what they said. I dove all into the academy. And to be honest, the academy is great for giving you vocabulary, right? And getting your feet wet. But as I progressed through that process, I started to realize there were some things that were missing that I wanted to find out, that there was questions that I had that were unanswered, and I wasn't finding out how to find the appropriate channels to get the answers I needed. So I started searching in other places. I started reading other books. I started feeding my mind, looking for other resources to figure out how does this thing really work. And throughout that process, from when I started really taking this thing serious until I was able to go from beginner to advanced in my studies, I was able to develop my own strategy to help others learn how to see this thing in a more clearer fit fashion, in a clearer picture, right? And on top of that, I ended up having the opportunity to create a course that would emulate what I happened to go through and share with you the information that was learned based on the educators and the leaders that I came in contact with, and help show you how you too can repeat this same process. And guess what, guys? I went from beginner to advanced, to creating a strategy, to creating a 52-week course, to now I'm your first educator on the 52 weeks. And this is our second time around on launching it. So if you don't think that what I'm telling you is facts, then go ask somebody. Check the record. If you knew, then go find out from the rest of the team how valuable the information that we're going to provide with you over the next 52 weeks really is. And with that said, guys, I want to welcome you all to the Harmonic Scanner 52 Weeks to Freedom course. This is Trade Nation, baby. Gang, gang. I don't know about y'all, but I'm lit. I'm always geek when it comes to trade, right? If you ain't obsessed, if you ain't geeked, amped all the time about how you gonna change your life and change the lives of others that you come in contact with, then you ain't taking this situation serious. You ain't had your aha moment. But I guarantee you, when you get finished with my 12 weeks and I pass the baton to the next educator and you move on through your journey and you come out on the other side, oh, baby, bye. You're going to be like, oh, sugar. We about to get it now. We about to eat over here. So I'm so thankful and grateful that all of y'all were able to join us on this call so I can set the tone, set the stage for what's to come, right? All right, so the purpose, if you don't know, is that our goal is to help 1,000 people, right? 1,000 learn how to be consistent, profitable investors using 4 unique strategies within 52 weeks. All right. And just because I want to see y'all and y'all can see me, right? We're going to make sure that this thing works. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. All right, let's get this thing cracking. Hold on. Wait, y'all, my screen. There we go. All right, so now, not only is we going to learn these 4 unique strategies, guys, with over the next 52 weeks broken up into 4 sessions in 12-week increments, we also going to focus on growing our accounts so that we can make weekly withdrawals. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to learn how to trade if you can't make a withdrawal. And if people are just trading and trading and trading and you ain't making no withdrawal, you're not an investor. You never will become a profitable investor that lives full time off of their profits. And as we know, profits are always better than wages, right? So with that being said, we getting ready to set the stage. I need to go over some housekeeping rules so that everybody knows what to expect from us and what we can expect from you so that you know how this thing is going to operate. We're going over just simple logistics, right? So first things first, sorry IBOs, this is a course for traders only. What I mean by this is there should be no information, no conversation, no publications of anything that has to do with anything other than trading. If you're not talking trading talk, then you shouldn't be talking at all, because guess what? There's too many other groups that you can get into and you can talk to, and you can reach out to your upline, your coach, your mentor to get extra insight and information about those types of activities. But as far as this group, this course, what we all signed up to be is a trader. We're going to focus on nothing but trading. All right. Now, second thing, this is not a beginner's course, guys. It's not. You have to know your vocabulary. You got to know how to place a trade. I'm not going to stop the class. We only have an hour's worth of time to go over a lot of information. And let's be frank, some of the information that you're going to get during that hour's worth of time is going to be information that you're not going to get from the academy. So I don't have time. The other educators don't have time to go back and go over what is a pip. What is a buy stop? What is a buy limit? What is market execution? You need to have already gone through the proper studies before you start training and trading with us in this class. All right. Now, everyone is or will be assigned one study group based on where you live, right? Just one. Meaning you can't be in more than one study group. And LaJoyce and I don't know if she's on the call tonight. I'm hoping that she is. But either way, LaJoyce and I are constantly going through and looking at those groups and making sure that the proper individuals are in the proper places, and that we're making sure that all of the logistics are taken care of. So please don't try and add people to a group. Please don't try and change groups. We have this set up in a system for a reason. It will all make sense as we continue to go along through the process. Just bear with us and you'll be able to have an aha moment when we get there. All right? So no switching assigned study groups unless you move. If you relocate to another area, you reach out to one of us and we will make sure to put you in the proper group so that you can continue your studies with everyone else. All right. Now, like I said, don't discuss nothing that's not trading related in your study groups. Those messages will be deleted. Okay. No switching of the assigned currency pairs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. I'm going to go through all of that so that everybody understands exactly how this is going to work. But I need you to understand that we have assigned specific currency pairs to the specific groups for a reason. It's just diplomatic, right? Hey, depending on where you live is where you ended up. It's just, that's the way it is, right? It's the toss of the coin. All right. Don't post any event flyers, none, without prior approval. Because if you do, they're going to be deleted. And it's possible you could be removed from the groups for not being teachable and coachable and following the housekeeping rules. All right. You have to be active as an IM Academy customer. You have to. You have to be a member of Trade Nation. So if you're an IM Academy customer, but you're not a member of Trade Nation, oops, sorry for your loss. Don't know what to tell you. You have to be a member of Trade Nation. You have to be an active Academy customer. And you must have access to the Harmonic scanner and Go Live and any of the other products and services that is offered that you so choose to use that are optional, right? But you have to at least have those, which is what? Your platinum package. Okay. You must have completed your Forex Mastery Academy so that you know your vocabulary, so that you understand what it is that we're going to be talking about over the course of these next 52 weeks. We are going to be applying the knowledge that you have already learned and adding some additional information, technology, and resources to your repertoire. If you want to be a master trader, then you have to step outside of the box and you have to strap yourself with the necessary equipment in order to do so. So that brings me to, you have to be coachable and teachable. If we give you an assignment, if we ask you to do something, then it's your responsibility to do that. We're simply here to hold you accountable for your actions. Because guess what, guys? This is your journey. You are the only one that is going to make it to the other side and be successful based on what you put into it. The effort you put in is going to determine the level of success that you get out of it. If you don't put in any work, then you're not going to get the results that you're going to see everyone else is going to get. So please do not add anyone to these exclusive Telegram groups. And please do not share the Zoom links to these calls outside of your study groups. Believe me, we will be watching. We will be watching other groups. So if we find out that you've been sharing information or resources, or if you've been putting people into these groups or sharing these links outside of these walls, guess what? You're going to be removed. You're going to be blocked. And I can't guarantee you that you're going to get back in. Because guess what? It's sorry for your loss. I finished my 52 weeks. We got people on the call that finished the last 52 weeks. And we're getting ready to start this 52 weeks off right now. All right? So, let's get it started so everybody understands what to expect over this next 52 weeks. And there has been some changes. So I want everybody to know what to expect as we moving forward, all right? Now, there are 5 study groups. I need everybody to know what everybody else is doing. Because guess what? This is Trade Nation. This is Trade Nation, which means we all in this together. Which means we need to know what the right hand and the left hand is doing in order to work together, in order for us all to be successful. So one of the things that we decided to do was to inform everyone of what everyone else is doing. So we have 5 study groups. If you are international and you live outside of the United States, then you are in the international study group. We got what? Barbados, right? We got Canada. Who else we got over there in international? We got Jamaica. We got Jamaica in international. Who knows? Anybody from international on the call?
Yes, ma'am, from Bermuda.
There you go. We got Bermuda. See what I'm saying? In the building. So everybody that's international is in the international study group. You guys are going to be working together, right? Studying certain pairs and applying the information that you're going to learn, right? And as we go through this thing, we're going to be studying the major currencies so that we can help one another as we become master traders. And hopefully, eventually, we actually will become a full-fledged operational trading department. A trading team that is able to look at multiple pairs at the same time and make sure that the whole team of Trade Nation is successful and profitable as an investor. Now, we got Midwest. And as you can see, if you live in any one of these states that have been listed under the Midwest, then you should be a member of the Midwest study group. If you're not in the Midwest study group, then you need to reach out to LaJoyce and I, or you need to post in the study group that you're in so that we can move you to the correct study group. We have the Northeast. Now here's where the changes come. Delaware, Maryland, and DC previously were a part of the South team. In order to balance this thing out, and in order to make this thing more structurally sound, we are moving Delaware, Maryland, and DC to the Northeast team. So if you live in any one of those 3 states, you will be moving from the South study group to the Northeast study group so that we can help each other become more accountable and more profitable as traders. As you see, we have several states that make up the South. And just as a tidbit, guys, the South is our largest group, which gives us a geographical way to look at how successful and where our strengths and weaknesses are as a unit, as a team. How we're able to work together. And last but not least, we got the West. All right? So as you see, this is the individuals, the members that you are going to be working with. And they are basically within a 100-mile radius or a neighboring state from each other, which makes it that much easier for us to actually help one another if we have to do trading events, right? If we end up wanting to do boot camps, we can actually break this thing out geographically. All right. Does anybody got any questions about any of that I've gone through so far? Nope. All right. Currency pairs. International, so that everybody knows what everybody else is doing, so that we know how to help one another, since we're going to be focusing in on narrowing our perspective when it comes to which pairs we're going to be studying. International, I've made some changes. You are now going to be looking at GBP, CHF, EUR, CHF, NZD, CHF, and CAD, CHF. We have changed. USD, CHF is no longer one of your pairs. Screenshot it, make a note of it. We'll be updating the study groups with the appropriate pairs. But I wanted to make sure that everybody was well aware of what pairs we're going to be looking at and what the changes are that have been made. In addition, if you notice, I have added a wild card pair. Each study group is going to have a wild card. It is a pair that you are free to look at and study in addition to the other 4. And as we go along through the 52 weeks, you'll understand why we chose the pairs that we chose. And what are some of the reasons why those pairs are collectively grouped together based on each study group. As you notice, the Midwest is always studying GBP NZD, EUR NZD, NZD CAD, and NZD JPY. And they too will have a wild card, odd NZD. Screenshot it, make note of it, because these are going to be your best friend. as a group collectively, you're going to study how these pairs work together against each other and any other information that we need to know as a team in order to be profitable from them moving forward. Now I got a question. Does anybody notice what is the major pair, the major currency that the international team is going to be studying?
Sure.
Exactly, the Swiss franc. How about the Midwest? Who's the Midwest studying?
NZD.
New Zealand dollar.
New Zealand dollar. All right, make a note, guys. This is how we're going to help each other. If you know who's working on which currency, then we know how to get the help we need when we're making the proper analysis that we're going to be making. All right. Now we got the Northeast. The Northeast is made up of GBP AUD, EUR AUD, AUD JPY, AUD CAD, and the wild card is AUD USD. We got the South. The South is going to be GBP USD, EUR USD, USD CAD, USD franc, and the New Zealand dollar and the United States dollar. Screenshot it. Make a note of it. And if you notice the South, we've made a change. You are no longer looking at USD JPY. You are now looking at USD franc. Can anybody tell me what is the major currency that the Northeast team is going to be looking at?
The Australian dollar.
The Australian dollar. How about the South?
US dollar.
US dollar.
The US dollar. So make notes of it, guys, so we know what team is focused on what pair, on what currency. So we know how all of the pieces of the puzzle are going to come together. And last but not least, we got the West. The West has GBP JPY, EUR JPY, USD JPY, CAD JPY, and the wild card, the Swiss franc JPY. And if you notice, we got 3 wild cards that all of the teams can look at and that all of the teams will start to pay attention to, which is GBP CAD, EUR CAD, and EUR GBP. Can anybody tell me what is the currency that the West team is going to be focused on?
JPY.
JPY. Does anybody have any questions? Did everybody screenshot the assigned currency pairs? Did you screenshot your assigned study group?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want to make sure because logistics is going to go into full effect to make these changes on the back end. I need you guys to be prepared for them so that when we move forward into these next classes in these upcoming weeks, we're going to be moving fast at a rapid rate, just like we did the first time around. And guess what, guys? Man, y'all in for a treat. Like, y'all don't even know what y'all is waiting for. Like, what is waiting for y'all? Boom, and here it is. This was waiting for y'all. Right? What we gonna be learning over the next 52 weeks. And if you didn't know, you know now. There's new content. There's new educators. There's new strategies, right? So if you thought the first 52 weeks was on fire, Just wait till I give you what we gonna get for this next 52 weeks. What? So we got 4 unique trading strategies, and I'm gonna go over them tonight. I'm gonna share with y'all exactly who and what strategies we gonna learn. Cause I'm excited too, y'all. Y'all just don't know how excited I am. Ooh, we're gonna go over that 52-week trading plan. We're gonna get you started so you can practice some of these skill sets, get you developing some of this patience and discipline, so that we can get you to a point where we can make these weekly withdrawals, right? We're gonna be talking about emotional intelligence, because let's be honest, guys, this is an emotional roller coaster. It's an emotional journey, right? A lot of the team went to go see Bobby P, right? Went to see Bob, right? And I know he was talking about the paradigm shift, right? Fulfilling your goals, right? Believing in yourself, talking about a lot of the things, right, that King Hollis mentioned in the intro video. That's the reason why I shared it. Because I knew where I needed your mindset to be, because I need you to be in that right framework so that we can take you from nothing to something, right? So we can go from broken to breakthrough. But the only way we're going to get there is through the emotional intelligence, being able to conquer our emotions, right? Because you can have a perfect analysis, guys. And if your mindset ain't together, you're going to self-sabotage your trade every single time. And there's nothing, nobody, or nothing that's going to be able to do to change that. Because mentally, you weren't prepared to trade. And we're going to talk about a lot of that as we go through this process. Because that's one of our biggest obstacles, right? It's the emotions. Because we already know this is what? 10% skill set? Some even argue 1% skill set. Hell, we can teach a monkey to trade if you can teach him colors. If you can teach a monkey to fly and go to the moon, I'm pretty sure we can teach him to trade. So if we can teach them, we can teach anybody, right? We're going to go over that currency straight. We're going to show you how important it really is to make sure that you understand the relationship that the currencies have and how the strength of the currency when they come in contact with each other, how that plays a role and what that means for your trading, right? We're going to talk about each currency pair, why we chose the currency pairs that we chose for all of us to study. What was the systematic approach that we took in order to get us there? What about those appropriate sessions? There's sessions that we trade in, but do we really understand what pairs we should be trading during those appropriate sessions and why? Or what about currency correlation? And many of you are probably sitting there saying, what the hell is she talking about? Well, it's the correlation, the relationship between the currencies. If one is strong, would it potentially make another week, right? If one is buying, could we potentially know that another could be selling, right? Those types of things, the relationship. How about that powerful, that almighty, right? That ATR, the average true range, right? It's that pip count for every single pair. How do we calculate that? How do we figure out what's the pip count each week for each pair? So that we know that each pair is only going to give out a certain amount of pips in any one direction. And if we know that, then we already know that our analysis should be valid if we know which direction the trend is going to go in on a weekly basis. Because what do we know, guys? The trend is our friend. And especially as a beginner, you definitely don't want to be trading against it. You want to be trading with the wave, right? It's also very important that we understand the relationship between volume and price action. And what does that mean? And how does that play a role? And what about leading and lagging indicators? Does everybody even know what that is? What indicators are the leading indicators? What indicators are the lagging indicators? And how do they affect each other And how do we use them to make the proper analysis? What about those candlestick patterns? To know what we're looking for. To know the color-coded system that the market makers and the developers of the market have set in place for us to be able to understand what's happening. What about consolidation? And what we like to call, or I like to call, the traffic zone, right? Because y'all already know what the Milwaukee sauce. If you playing games in consolidation, you in the street. You gonna get run over. We already know that. We don't play in traffic. What about them reversal patterns, right? Market cycle and structure, right? The foundation of trading. What about history and why the market moves the way it moves? What about support and resistance, supply and demand? And I'm not just talking about support and resistance and supply and demand on the charts, but I'm talking about in life. How that applies to your life, your everyday transactions as a consumer. Every day you buying and selling something. Every day you bartering something. You bartering your time for your services, right? You bartering your skill sets for some money. Supply and demand. This is bigger than just what's on the chart. This is a lifestyle, right? Our slogan is trade, travel, transform. We trading to pay for the travel so that we can help y'all transform. Because we didn't already transform. That's why I'm sitting in front of you. I'm able to give you my testimony because I've gone through the process. We're going to show you about trends and trend lines and how important that is to recognize the direction of the market. Being able to see seasonal trends, be able to look at the market and say, oh, I know what happened last year. It's going to happen this year. What's going to happen next year? What's going to happen next week, next month, tomorrow, today? And above all else, we can learn patience, discipline, and consistency. Because without those three things, you are not a profitable full-time investor. Sorry to be the one to tell you, but if you don't develop those three life skills, and those are skills you should have learned even before you decided to start trading, this is just an added benefit and showing you how important those three skill sets really are. That's just the way it is. You have to have patience. You have to have patience with yourself. Because guess what, guys? Your coach, your mentor, your upline, they not going to give up on you. You going to give up on you before we do. I know you can do this. I know you can do it because I did it. And I ain't no better than you. I ain't no different than you. The only thing that might be different is my drive. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to separate us. How much effort am I going to put into it? How much effort are you going to put into it? How much time are you going to dedicate to it? If you try and rush the process, I can guarantee you, you're going to fail. I guarantee it. If you rush the process, I guarantee you, you are going to fail. You have to take this thing serious. You have to practice what you are learning. You can't skip a step. You can't. If you do, guess what? Oh, I gotta mute y'all. Wait, I gotta mute y'all. I got y'all in here talking to me. All right, boom, right? I'm just telling y'all from personal experience. I tried to rush the process. I broke all of the rules, right? I traded bill money, right? I was thinking, man, I got to get it right now. I ain't got time to be waiting. I ain't got time to be figuring this out. I've been there. Don't do it to yourself. You got to practice it until you develop the discipline so that you can be consistent. To make money today and lose it tomorrow is not a winning trader. Your profits have to exceed your losses. And the only way to do that, the only way to develop those skill sets is through patience and discipline, which will ultimately give you consistency. And if you follow the process through this entire 52 weeks, and you do what we tell you to do, I guarantee you, you're going to come out on the other side profitable as an investor and a full-time trader. All right? So, bam, here we go. I need y'all to know we're going to start this 52 weeks back off with the Milwaukee sauce. But guess what, guys? We Trade Nation 3.0. Guess what? Milwaukee sauce 3.0. We done revamped this thing. I got some new stuff to show y'all. I got some new techniques, some new information to show y'all how the sauce can be elevated, upgraded, reloaded, right? And I'm going to show y'all how we're going to continue to develop through this process. Not just y'all, but me too. Me too. I'm a student always. I'm what you would call a professional student. I will probably always go to school. I'll always be learning something new. Right? And because of that, I'm always looking to improve myself, to be a better me. I don't compete with other people. The only competition I have is with me and myself. I'm going to always try and be the best me. I'm going to always try and outdo me. I'm going to always look for a way to be better than what I was yesterday. And that's why you got Milwaukee Sauce 3.0. And when I'm done and I set the stage and give you the foundation that you need so that I can pass the baton to the next educator to give you another piece of the puzzle so that you can see how all of the information, the tools, and the technology that you've gotten from your I Am Academy and how we've applied it to a strategy that I use with one of the products, which is the Harmonic scanner. The scanner is 88 to 89% accurate all by itself, meaning 8 out of 10 trades, you are subject to win and be profitable. And all you got to do is copy, paste, and profit. Now you check this out. You add on a couple indicators, and I explain to you why we're using the indicators and how to use them correctly. And then you just increase, right, your winning rate. And all we're trying to do is just increase your winning rate, give you a little bit more insight, give you a little bit more information, education, and technology to use with what you already have, with what you already know. And you might find out that what I do just ain't for you. Then guess what? We got another educator right behind me that's going to show you how he sees the market. And guess what, guys? We got the honor and the privilege of having Mark, Mr. Goldfinger himself, fair, teaching us how to trade with Goldfinger. What? He gonna show us all of the things that he knows, all the things that he uses to be a profitable investor, a full-time investor, a success story that walked away from his job, who can share with you a play-by-play on how he did that. Right? That's what we're here for. Each one teach one. This is, what did he say? This is about a gift of giving. And when we're done learning about all we need to know about trading with Goldfinger, then guess what? We have the honor, right? And the privilege, right? And the pleasure of having Mr. Dominique Addison, better known as Paper Chasing Debo. What? founder of the One Trade Away gang. What? I know y'all been seeing them posts. I know y'all been seeing them trades. What? All skill, no fear. Ain't that what he say? It's blue season around here, right? Gang, gang. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. I'm telling y'all not ready for this. Y'all not ready to be a master trader, to be able to trade any pair you want, any commodity you want, any stock you want, any binary option you want. What? And then what? We gonna finish it up. We gonna close it up, wrap it up with Mr. John Wick himself. What? Mr. Akil Bay gonna show us that above and below and give us that 13-week what trading plan that's gonna take us to how many figures? Y'all ain't ready for this. I hope y'all ready. I know I'm ready. I'm gonna be on every class. I'm trying to get this sauce, man. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this money. I don't know about y'all, but I signed up to be a professional trader. I wanted to learn how to multiply my money, right? I wanted to remove money as an obstacle in my life, right? Let's be honest. The only way that you're gonna achieve freedom in life is to be able to have more time and more money. And I ain't never seen no opportunity in my entire lifetime that has showed me an opportunity or a solution, as we like to say, that's going to give me both. And this skill set is going to do just that. With all of the proper channels, all of the proper resources, we're going to help y'all get there. The success proof is in the pudding. Y'all seeing the success stories. I don't have to share them. Y'all know. But we're going to help y'all be the next success story. You are the next educator. You are the next individual that's going to create their own strategy. Because let's be honest, all of the indicators work. All of the strategies work. It's what works for you. And what value you can bring to the table. Like Chad always say, what value you gonna bring? Right? What value you gonna bring? And we need you to bring your all. Bring your A game, right? Because guess what? Strength is only in numbers. We got the numbers, okay. But guess what? A team is only as strong as its weakest link. So in order for us all to be successful, we have to help each other. And that's the reason why we created the 52 weeks. All right? Now I need y'all to understand that the reason why we're giving you a trading plan instead of having you try and figure it all out by yourself is because we need you to know the importance of having one. When I started, I just figured I'm just going to trade here or there and I'll make some money today and maybe I'll make some money tomorrow, but I didn't have really a plan of action of how I was going to get to the goal. I knew what the goal was, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. This trading plan is what's going to get you there. The trading plan is what gives the trader the opportunity to trade with greater confidence and less emotion. Because you know exactly how much you need to trade and how many pips you need to go, right? So it helps a trader treat trading Forex and any other commodity or any other stock or binary option or any other opportunity to be more like a business. It helps you be more organized. Organization is going to be key. You have to keep a record of what trades you make, why you won them, why you lost them, right? You have to be very detailed and structured when it comes to trading. And you have to set the standard, which is what the trading plan is going to do, because it's going to tell you, you can only get so many pips a day. You can only get so many pips during any one trade. Or you have to break it up in twin trade. And if you twin trade, then you have a limit to how much your lot size can be for the total amount of trades that you trade. So it gives you a certain set of rules. And if you break those rules, then you're going to suffer the consequences. That's why it's relevant, because it's going to hold you accountable. It's going to keep you disciplined. It's going to show you that you are developing some patience. It's going to teach you proper leverage and proper risk management, and how that can be applied to the market in real time. Because doing it and looking at the videos and watching somebody else and watching go live, and you ain't placing no trades and you ain't practiced this thing in demo, you're not going to be a 6-7 figure trader if you don't actually put in the work. You're going to have to set your own compounding goals. It gives you the goals. It tells you what the goals are. There's no guesswork. And it's going to help you keep that winning law, because you have to know why you won or why you ended up with a lesson from the loss that you took. Because as you all know, I never say that we take losses, because we're here to learn a lesson. Life is about lessons. My mom always told me life is about problem solving. Every day you're going to come up with a new problem. It's up to you to try and figure out a system and a process, right? Or leverage other people or resources in order to get your problem solved. All right? And this trading plan is going to help us solve the problem of not having no money. Went back, y'all. Now, boom. We have made some upgrades to the trading plan to get y'all off started. Screenshot it. I'm sure we'll be putting it into the study group so that you guys have it, and those individuals that are not on the call will have it. All right? But we're going to start with $100 to develop some of that patience and discipline that I was just talking about, so that we can end up showing you how you can develop some consistency with your trades. And it already shows you outlined out exactly what you're doing. You're starting with $100. And instead of it being 8%, we're now up to 10%, right? And that's just learning from other resources, what we should be investing, right? What we should be working towards is 10%. So that's what we're working towards, right? And as we know, we're working for 30 pips, right? We like to say 30 pips stop loss, 1-to-1 ratio, right? You don't want to risk more than what you're actually giving, but there are some educators that fluctuate that amount. So you choose what your stop loss wants to be. That's a personal choice. But ultimately, you want to develop the skill set in order to be able to actually earn 30 pips. Right? And if you notice, it already tells you that you don't want to trade more than the allotted lot size for any more than one trade. So for example, if you're trading on the first one, you start with $100. You're going for 30 pips. That's a 0.03 is the maximum lot size you should be trading. Now, I know you're going to have questions, concerns about over leverage, risk management. I know. All I'm telling you is this is going to help you practice in order to develop patience, discipline, and consistency, so that we can get you to the level that you need to be in order to be a master trader at the end of the 52 weeks. Just follow with me, guys. It's going to all make sense later. And then it lets you know if you're going to do more than one trade, then you need to break this 0.03 down so that it is the maximum amount of lot that you'll use for the total amount of trades. So you could do 3.01 trades, or you could do 0.02 on one and 0.01 on another. But the max for this one trade or this one action is the 0.03. Does everybody understand how to read this chart? I hope so. This is gonna be your best friend when it comes to actually studying it. But if you got questions, make sure you ask them in your study groups. All the vets are going to be able to help you because it's a similar format to what we had before. The numbers just changed slightly. And if you notice, if we take $100 and we actually earn 10% every single day for the next 31 trades or 31 days, it's going to go from $100 to $1,919.43. And if you notice, I made a notation that if we take this thing as 60 trades, 30 pips, one trade a day, you will go from $100 to $27,680.15. Now, who wants to go to $27,680.15 off of $100?
Me.
I hope so.
Let's go.
I'm so happy and grateful I took $100 and turned it to $27,680.15.
That's what I'm talking about. Speak it into existence. It's already done. It's already done, guys. And if you notice, I gave you a chart to show you exactly how powerful the compounding theory that Albert Einstein came up with, right? And how you can apply them to your daily personal goals. And if you notice, $27,680 ain't shy from what? $15,000 a month? Oops, my bad, y'all. Right? $15,000 a month is the average of this, basically. So we talking about what? $750 a day, $37.50 a week, $180,000 a year. That's $94 every hour. Most people ain't making that on their job. And we did that in 60 trades. How fast can you do 60 trades? If you do a one trade a day, that's 60 days. I went from $100 to $30,000 in 60 days. Where they do that at? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. But here. Lucky you. Lucky me. Right? Because I don't know about y'all, but them some pretty good goals to be working towards. Especially when I can get my time back and all it's really going to take me is maybe an hour or two worth of analysis, look at some charts, mark up some trades, place the trades, go about my business and live the life that I want to. Like Chad said, meet you at the bank and the beach. What? Man, listen, I want to be at the beach on my cell phone, using my Wi-Fi, making my money multiply. I don't know about y'all. Chad told me when I signed up, when I met him in Chicago, he told me if I stayed with him 18 months, that he would change my life. And I'm showing y'all how he changing yours too, right? So guess what? Facts. This 52 weeks gonna take some faith. You're gonna have to believe. Believe like you ain't never believed before. Believe in yourself. Believe in a higher power. Believe in your mentor. Believe in your coach. It's the trilogy of believe. If you don't believe, you're not gonna succeed. And once you actually take the belief, then you're gonna have to apply it. You have to take some action. And once you act on it, you have to show some commitment. Not committed to the team, not committed to Chad, not committed to me, committed to you, committed to your family, committed to your legacy, committed to the generations that come after you. You're going to have to dedicate your time. You're going to have to give it your all. You're going to have to sacrifice your time, time with your loved ones, time with your friends, time watching TV, time watching, doing anything that's not going to contribute to your personal development or your financial success. And you're going to have to develop a goal. What is the goal for the end of the 52 weeks? Where do you see yourself? Where are you trying to be? What is your life supposed to look like? What is your purpose? I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see what's all in store for all of you. Because I know for me, I've developed, transformed, and changed in leaps and bounds. I'm not the same person that I was 2 years ago. And I'm thankful and grateful now. Thankful and grateful now. Because now I see where I see myself. And I hope that I get to see what you see in yourself too. So guys, here's your assignment for next week. Set your personal goals for the 52 weeks. Write them down. Fill out your goal card. Know specifically what it is that you want to accomplish. What your life is going to look like. What you're going to look like. Who you're going to be. How you're going to think. Start practicing getting familiar with the Harmonic scanner, because next week, guys, I'm diving all in. We're going to go over the scanner. We're going to go over the Milwaukee sauce. We're going to put it on there. We're going to load it on your phones. We're going to do iPhones, Androids. We're going to do everything that you need to know to have that sauce so that you can start making money using that scanner. I need you all to stay plugged into the study groups. With the amount of changes that we got going on, we got to make sure that the main Telegram group and all of the assigned study groups are up and operational and functional. All right? And then I also want you guys to know, hey baby, that I want you to start paying attention to those assigned study pairs. Those pairs, start looking at them. Start studying them. Start asking yourself, why? Why did they give us those pairs? Why did they tell us we should start studying them? What's the benefit to those pairs? Right? Start looking for all of the information that we might need to know about each of the main currencies that you're studying, so that we can share that information collectively with one another. And then remember, guys, always be teachable and coachable. Stay on your toes, because if that's one thing I learned from Chad, you got to stay on your toes. You never know when that call going to come. And he going to say, oh, you next in line. So just make sure that you ready when the call comes. Because you never know when it's coming. All right, guys. If y'all ain't got no questions for me, then that's all I got for y'all. And I'm so excited, thankful, and grateful now that we're getting ready to start this 52 weeks off with a bang. Y'all got anything for me before I let y'all go?
Just this, Jackie Sugar. Thank you for all you do, what you put together for the team. You have set this call off, and I'm super excited about the next 51 weeks.
Me too, sugar, me too. I can't wait till y'all see what we got. Oh man, I got some new insight, some new content in my 12 weeks, but I can't even wait for the other 12 weeks. Y'all know I be geeked. What you want, baby? Anybody else? Y'all got anything else?
Yeah, I got a quick question now, Miss Jackie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the question was, in the $100, was that for an example, or is that the exact amount we're going to use? And is that going to be a demo account and a real account, or both?
Great questions. Well, the $100 is the amount that we want you to start with, one, because we want you to develop the skill set. If you can bring an account from $100 to almost 30,000, you can make 6-7 figures. If you can take $100 to that 2,000 in 30 days, you can make 6-7 figures. It's the skill set. It's not the money. That's what I'm trying to teach you. Because most people, just like I did, I kept putting 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 2,000 there. Every time I got paid, I was like, ooh, let me fund an account. Nah, all you doing is making somebody else pocket fat. Right? Like Akil say, give him the money, right? He's sitting over there waiting for y'all to keep funding y'all account because he's sitting over there watching the market and he's taking y'all money. Nah, man, we ain't doing that. Right? Now, great question. Whether it's live or demo, choice is yours. If you can do it in demo, you can do it live. My suggestion would be, if you're not comfortable just yet and you're just getting started, do it in demo. If you can do it in demo, you can do it in live. If you take $100 and you go to 2,000 in demo, go live.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the best. Appreciate all your energy, and I can tell you you're really into this. I'm excited. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sugar. My pleasure. Who else? What y'all got?
Hey, Jackie, can you review that chart one more time with the pips and the stop loss? I want to make sure I'm clear on that.
Yep. I'll show it to you. And I'm going to make copies of it, and we can put it in the group too. So y'all will be going over. That's going to be like one of y'all homework assignments. Make sure that you're talking about it in your study groups. The vets that went through this the first time have a better understanding of how it works. So they'll also help you as well. That's one of the benefits of having the study groups, is that we're able to help each other out. Because everybody has a different learning curve. Everybody has a different learning style. So what works for me might not work for somebody else. So if you find something that you can explain it in a way that somebody else can understand it, then by all means. But so the way that you're looking at this is trade number one, right? You start with $100. If you make 10% that first day with one trade, you're going to be trading one trade at a 0.03 lot. If you do that, you will make $10. And as you notice, day two, if you make 10%, you increase your lot size now to 0.04, you will make $11, which will then, and as you see, I'm adding what I made each day or each trade, depending on how you're going to be doing this, because some of you will find that you'll have more opportunities to trade, right? Because you'll be more advanced than others. But if you're a beginner, you're going to want to trade this one trade at a time, right? And you're going to want to trade one trade a day. And the reason why is to develop patience and discipline, because you're going to be on an emotional roller coaster whether you win or lose. If you win and you try and trade and keep trading, you run the potential of losing, because now you're on an emotional high of winning, and you might make a poor analysis. On the flip side, if you lose a trade, you don't want to revenge trade or binge trade, right? Because then you are subject to self-sabotage yourself, because now you're trying to chase the bag, right? So the way that you want to read this is each trade, the daily profit goal or daily trade goal is what you're making each time you win that trade, making the 30 pips at this lot size in the middle column. And as you see, each time you do another trade, your lot size will change. Or in some weeks it stays, or some trades it stays the same. But for the most part, it starts to increase itself in order to get you to where you need to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you notice, your balance will increase from this $100 $10 on the first day. By the second day, you're up $21. By the third day, you're up $33, and so on and so forth until you're down here at almost 2,000 on the 31st trade.
Okay, and just so I'm clear, if you're doing 15 pips or 60 pips, then you just adjust the lot size.
Correct. Exactly. That's exactly right. Because
Okay,
we know that the more pips that we do, obviously it's going to take longer, right? So we want to reduce the lot size, right? But if we're scalping and we're trying to do this thing fast, then we want to increase the lot size. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? And the personal goal chart, guys, is just there for your own personal reference. It was a way for me to look at this thing of trading and say, wow, somebody really can walk away from their job and earn a salary that someone is making annually, literally in a day, in a week, in a month, right? And this is how we do it, through the proper trading plan. Who next? What y'all got?
I got another question on this, Jackie.
Go ahead.
All right, so in the top right here, it says trade balance, daily percentage growth, daily profit, and then TP. Is that take profit? The TP
Yes.
15, 30?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's take profit and stop loss.
Okay, so take profit being 15, 30, and 60. Help me to understand that, please.
Yes. So if you're going to go for 15 pips,
Okay.
your take profit is 15 pips, then you're going to use this column of lot sizes. If you're going for 30 pips, you're going to use these lot sizes. If you're going for 60 pips, you're going to use these lot sizes. Does that make sense?
Got it. Okay, got it. Now I understand. Thank you.
So you're just reading, you're just basically reading straight down.
Got it. Is it recommended to start with 15 to 30, or does it matter?
Well, it depends on what type of trader you are. That
Conservative.
would be my question. So it depends on what type of trader you are. If you're more of a scalper, if you're intraday, if you're, if you're a swing, there are some individuals that don't really like the titles and they kind of trade everything, anything. If they see a setup, it's a go, they go, right? It's a personal choice, right?
Okay.
I personally, I trade more. I wanted to learn how to trade like the banks. So when I study what I studied, it was in order to understand why they're making the choices that they're making, right? And also understanding that there were some other extenuating circumstances or outside influences that were manipulating the market that I needed to be aware of. That if I wasn't in the loop, or if it wasn't about who I know, so that they could give me the information I needed to make the proper decisions, then I was left still with some unanswered questions. So that brings me back to, it's a personal choice. You want to go for 15 pips because you like to be in and out the market, or maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe it's about, how your personal work schedule is or your personal lifestyle is. Me personally, I like to swing. I'm looking for longer setups. I'm looking for trades on hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly. I'm looking for trends, seasonal, yearly. I want to know what the market is doing from an economic standpoint. I have a financial and business background, so I study things from macro and microeconomics, and that's all this is. But it's a personal choice. I know I kind of see. I told y'all I get excited.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? What y'all got?
So my question, just going off of when Jamal asked the question earlier about the $100 that he's putting in the account, and
Yep.
you said you you said when you started a while back that you was putting in like 1,000 or 2,000, and you said Akil said you can just get the money to him. Can you
Right.
kind of go a little bit in detail why you really said that?
Okay, so the reason why I said that is because if I'm okay, so how can I say this without trying to go deep into it? It's something that you're gonna learn in the 52 weeks. I'll say that. I will say this. When you're learning how to trade, you're trading against the market, right? And because you're trading against the market, you have to understand that we're all in the market looking for setups at the same time, right? So in some ways, we're competing against each other, right? For looking for the appropriate setups.
Right.
All right. That being said, as a retail trader, someone that just comes in and kind of wants to learn how this thing works so that they can just make a few extra dollars here and there and not really understand why the market moves the way it moves, or they just simply want to take a signal because they know that they could potentially multiply their money, right? If you have that frame of mind, then you never really understand why you're winning or losing, nor can you really protect yourself from the loss. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I say that to say an individual like Akil has had $1 million day. He can go into the market and look at it and look for a setup and know how much leverage and risk management to use in order to bring back a return on his investment of $1 million in one day off of one trade, off of 30 pips.
Wow.
Someone like yourself, if you're just starting to learn this thing, then someone like yourself, you're trying to learn it, but it's a hit and a miss. So every time you lose, you're just putting money into the market for him to look for setups to win your money. That's what I mean.
That makes
Make
sense.
sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's the importance of following through with the 52 weeks so that you too can become a master trader, so that you can look at the market and see it for what it really is. And I like to refer to it as the matrix. It's like the matrix. It really is. It's a system that you have to learn how it works, and once you do, you can manipulate it however you want to. But it's all just numbers, right?
Like, don't get.
Say it again.
That's just like if somebody trading with $1 or 10 cents, they still can get to $50 the same way the other person can. It's just about that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of the reason why we starting you off with $100, because I need to teach you the patience and the discipline that you need to develop in order to become consistent, so that you can look at the market and say, ooh, that market gonna give me 15 pips. No, that market gonna give me 30. That market might give me 100. You're not gonna know that unless you develop the skill set. But I don't want to tell you put $1,000 in and now you done just lost $1,000 because you don't know what you're doing, because you're trying to figure it out and you breaking the rules because ain't nobody gave you no system to follow. I'm not gonna set you up for failure like that. Just not gonna do it. Now, if you fail, it's because you chose to fail, right? You chose not to do the work or follow the system. But if you follow it, like I said, if you doubt it and you want to question your own skill set before you go live, do it in demo. What's stopping you? I love Monopoly when I was a kid. I love Monopoly money. It's my game. That's my thing. Same thing. Why not play with somebody else's money and see how this thing works? Once you do, then hey, now you trade like the banks, because that's the ultimate goal. At least that was my goal. My goal was to trade like the banks. I want to know how they making millions of dollars every day on my money and I ain't catching no action off of it. Now, that's just me.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm going to come out and pop it real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, yeah. So, that's kind of where we at. But really, like I said, a lot of this is personal. It's personal development. This is going to be the biggest personal development journey that you ever going to go on. It's going to test your personal development, your mindset. It's going to test you. It's going to either make you or break you. If you give up, you got broken. If it makes you, you're going to be a six-figure earner. Choice is yours. All right, who next? What y'all got? Everybody got it? I hope y'all paid attention. Faith, action, commitment, time, and where you see yourself. And that's what y'all need to be thinking about. And then, like I said, we're going to work on trying to get the study groups in order. Posting the study groups if you in one of those states that needs to be relocated. If you in a study group where your currency pair got changed, start paying attention and start making notations of those changes. Because like I said, next week we're going all in. And we're going to start looking at some of these pairs. We're going to make sure that we got all the setups. And we're going to be ready to go. So we rocking and rolling. All right, y'all. If y'all ain't got nothing else for me, I love you all. And as y'all know, I will see y'all next week.
I got one last thing.
Come on. You better speak now, forever hold your peace now, sugar. Somebody better tell them.
All right. So the 52-week harmonic scanner group is the group. That's the main group, right? In the Telegram.
That's right. That's the main group. And that group is where you will see any signals that any of the educators or any of leadership posts. From time to time, Chad will post signals that he's taking. If you see a signal in that main group, it's a trade, an analysis that whoever posted is actually taking. Those are trades that we as educators or administrators and leaders are actually taking. So those are valid trades. You'll also get announcements in the main group, but there will be no communication from no one other than leadership, the educators, or Chad in that main group. You can't talk back to us in that group. It's just for announcements.
And then the subgroups will be in the same Telegram as well.
Correct. It is they are Telegram groups as well. They're just broken up based on who gets access to which group, based on where you live.
Got it. And so we'll be placed in those groups. We don't have to do anything for that.
Nope. All you got to do is, if you was entered into this group, into the main group, if you haven't been entered into a study group, then reach out to me and let me know where you live, and either me or Joyce will make sure that you get into the appropriate study group.
Can you post your number or something so I can find you, so I can message you?
Yep, just reach out to me on Telegram.
Okay.
You can find me right in the main group. Click on my name and send me a message.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Every Wednesday night, that's right, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and I think there's 5 p.m. out on the West Coast, if I ain't mistaken.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I gotta keep Ginger right now, y'all. Y'all better stop playing. I can't
Throwing up the dubs right now. I'm throwing up the dubs.
Yes. All right, yep. So that's it. I will see everybody next week.